So it is Sunday night. All the AFC South teams have played. Quick reaction to the other two games. Jacksonville loses. I don't know. It's only a matter of time till Blake Bortles really showed up, and there he was. And now they have a problem over there. And weirdly enough, the Texans are leading the division. That's a strange one. Am I really surprised that the Jaguars are kind of garbage? Kind of. I thought their defense was better than what they have been. But when your defense is out there for as long as theirs is, I don't really know. I know there's some hijinks in the locker room, like they wouldn't let media in immediately after the game. Whatever. And, Indianapolis throttles the Bills. Not really that surprising. So the game that I watched wire to wire again. Started off my morning kind of a bad way, but I wasn't nearly as mad at the other times that the Titans had lost previously, such as the Ravens and the Bills. Like, those games really made me pretty angry, made my blood boil, as they say. But today, at least, the offense kind of put up a little bit of a struggle. And we'll get to the call in a second, and I'll go over my thoughts on it. It's just weird because you want to sit there and you want to really kind of be like, why is the defense giving up these long bombs? And they are. It's weird because it's like they don't give up anything of 10 yards or less, but they give up everything past a 30-yard throw. It's a free touchdown. I don't understand. I'm hoping it's only communication. I did hear something commentary like Vrabel said it's only communication. It's nothing to worry about. That is a huge thing to worry about. Communication's huge in any team sport, so I don't really know where he was going with that. I think that's a huge problem that they still can't communicate correctly. It's been this is week 7, and they still aren't finding their niche. I really hope that this bye week snaps them out of it. I have seen on multiple occasions Taylor Lewan get beat. I don't know if he's still hurt, what his deal is. He really has to stop making some bonehead plays. He had that play at the end where he tried to blast through the guy. It's just a really dumb play to make. He's cost us games before doing that. So, everyone remembers the Oakland game a few years back when he did the same exact thing. You keep harping on it every week. What more can you say? I know that we're not leading the league in drop balls for wide receivers, but the drop balls, the ones we drop are just in such terrible spots. They're drive killers. They're getting dropped on third downs. They're getting dropped in crucial moments. And it's not like difficult balls that are being dropped. These are balls that you need to catch. Everyone's worried about the yards after catch. Just catch the damn ball. Catch it. Any receiver that is consistently catching the ball with their body and not with their hands, gotta cut them, man. It's not the right thing to do. You've been taught your whole life, and if by this time in your career, if you're still waiting for the ball to hit you in the chest and then you try to cradle it, gotta stop doing that. Corey Davis really has to look for that ball. When he turns from that break, this is what NFL quarterbacks do. These are NFL quarterback passes. He came out of the break and the ball was there. You gotta get both hands up. You can't be surprised it was there. That's when you're open. As soon as you make that break, not after. As soon as you start to make that break, every second or whatever after you hit that break, it's time for the defense to cover you up. That ball needs to be there immediately after the break. He's not ready for it. But, Tajay Sharp showed up today in a huge way. On third downs, he was catching everything. Thank goodness, because no one else could catch a dang thing. And Derrick Henry could, but Dion Lewis, that run was nothing short of amazing. I'm really starting to like that signing. At first, I thought I was going to like the Butler signing more than the Lewis signing, but now, Butler's, granted, he wasn't the one that got torched. It was Logan Ryan this time, but still, but again, it's really hard to get mad at a defense when they still only let up 20 points. Most NFL teams are scoring more than 20 points a game. And our defense only let up 20 points to a team that has passed for 3 touchdowns like clockwork. And they stopped that. So I can't really be too mad at the defense. So, all right, let's get into this. I mean, the coaching was suspect, I guess. I really need Vrabel to take a hard look at what clock management is. I don't think he does a very good job of really, like, one thing that Bill Belichick does, and he's a master at, he's the reason why everyone defers the ball and they win the toss. He's the one who started that because he figured out that he could always manage that clock to get the extra possession. Like, how many times have you seen Tom Brady give a last-second drive for just a field goal, then get the ball back at the half, and they score a touchdown? So they have 10 unanswered points like that. Vrabel doesn't really understand the point. He can't focus outside of one drive. The challenge he made was absolutely ridiculous. It was a wasted challenge. They stopped him for the field goal anyway, but it cost us a timeout. Granted, I guess in the great scheme of things, the timeout didn't really matter, but it could have. It was actually really close because we had no timeouts at the end. I mean, I'm still questioning some of this play calling, but it was better, and that's all you can hope for is just improvement. But I mean, the wasted timeouts, things like that, that has to stop. No NFL team wastes timeouts like the Tennessee Titans. I promise you that. I get it. It was a bad throw, the interception Mariota had. But when you make those quick out passes, the offensive line is taught to engage the defensive line so they cannot jump. They can't get their hands up. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been an interception still because it was a bad throw. But the offensive line has been severely overrated. They've underperformed immensely, especially for what they're paid. There's a lot of money on that line. And, it's just not paying off. You have to, like I said, on that specific instance, the guard has to take the step up and engage the defensive lineman with his hands. So if he puts his hands up, the guard can just push him to the ground. But he sat there, and then the guy who was free reign. He was only watching Mariota. He knew it was a pass. And so there it was. You do that. I mean, like I said, if you... there's no time machine. There's no, you can't go play woulda, coulda, shoulda. But if that was a field goal, then it's a completely different game on the way back. So, all right, well, let's break down what 99% of the people. Am I absolutely furious that he went for it? No, not really. Do I think it was foolish? Yeah, I don't like the call. I mean, it is what it is. I can't go back in time. And I get why he makes a call, but there's a difference between aggressive and just being foolish. In the second quarter, I don't think anyone was saying that. Hands down, the Titans were better than the Chargers in the second half. It wasn't even close. Chargers were not nearly as good as what we were. So I just don't understand why. To me, it kind of showed lack of faith in the defense a little bit, which had played decent. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I understand the long passes and stuff I'd gone over, but it wasn't terrible. We have had hard enough times getting in the end zone. On that, and case in point, that drive took us, we were on the 2-yard line for 4 downs, and we squeaked it in. That was a very risky pass. It wasn't exactly, it wouldn't have surprised me if Stalker hadn't got that. That was a tough catch, but he caught it. I mean, thank goodness the tight end caught a ball. But it took us 4 downs. What makes you think you're going to have a 1-down shot to get in there? I mean, I know it's a 2-point conversion, but essentially we ran a play from the 2 and inside 6 straight times, and we couldn't get it we got in the end zone once out of 4 times, and then we got that holding play, which put it on the 1, and it was like, but yet, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, to me, it doesn't make sense with how the offense have been playing. I'm like, everyone's saying, if he had gone 4-1, everyone would be different. No, I wouldn't. I am pretty even keel when it comes to stuff like this. I don't. I told everyone I played with, even if and when we played in the Eagles and he went for it instead of kicking the field goal to tie, I was okay with that. And even if we lost, I would have been okay with that. But the problem with this is that, and I know a lot of people are going to try to draw correlation. We can't do it because it's not the same. So the 2 options basically for that Eagles game was either to tie or to lose. That was it. If you kick that field goal, you either tie or you lose. There was no way to win that game against the Eagles. That's why I don't have a problem with him going for that. I get being aggressive and everything. You either tie or lose on that play. But instead, the Titans, they go for it, so they keep their three options. They can still win, tie, or lose. They still keep their three options in that overtime. Going for it on third down, it's win or lose, and it's a one-down situation like that when you are actually given, if you kick the field goal, I mean, there was 20 seconds left, you're pretty much given overtime. I highly doubt they're going to go down and score in 20 seconds. Granted, they did have 2 timeouts, but I just don't see that happening. That's why I don't like the call. Like I said, am I adamantly against, I love the call, I hated it? No, I don't. And, people that are going on each side, I mean, why can't we have civil conversations anymore? I don't know why that happens anyway. You could tell me that I'm right, wrong, indifferent. That's your opinion. This is my opinion. I'm not an NFL coach, and chances are you're probably not either. But that's why I don't like it, is because you took a situation of there was still a better chance to win, and especially with our offense. Granted, everyone's like, we were on the 1-yard line. We have had trouble scoring in the red zone. We've had trouble scoring in the red zone. It took us 4 straight plays to get in the red zone from inside the 3. So that's why I didn't like the call. It took us 4 plays. No one wants to bring that up. So there's a 25% chance, hypothetically, from the first 4 plays that happen inside the 3, your 2-point conversion happens at the 2, and then we got a holding call. We had a 25% chance of making that based off previous events. I mean, so even if you went beyond the call, the play call to get it, my word, I hate, there's a reason why you have tall wide receivers. Corey Davis is not a short guy, but Taywan Taylor's he's not tall. He's what, 5'11", 5'10". I understand trying to throw it to the guy you're confident with, but not over the middle through all that traffic. It's very difficult to see the ball. I just didn't like the play call either. It was just I don't like the fact that like Vrabel saying that he's completely confident with that he'd do it again. That's a bad, you got to learn from your mistakes. Look out there at the other coaches, the great coaches. They kick the field goal. You don't hear like Belichick has confidence in what position. If Brady was there, he wasn't. Belichick still be a great coach. I don't care what anyone says. I really think Brady is I think Brady's a Hall of Famer. I think he's probably the greatest of all time. I really think that Brady's success is more attributed to Belichick opposed to Belichick's success dependent on Brady. Obviously, they're both great. So, like I said, I just think it's a really just not a great play. Coaches that traditionally do that, Jack Del Rio, they don't keep their coaching positions very long, and they don't really have a very good track record of being successful. The only guy I really know that risks things like that a lot, Sean Payton, maybe. He has a ring. But other than that, people do what you. That was the right play was to kick the field goal. Like I said, in my eyes, that was the right play. With how we were moving the offense, it'd be one thing if I thought our defense couldn't have forced a punt. Maybe I would have been more susceptible to it, but whatever. So, all right, guys. Well, give me a like, sub, follow, whatever. Put some comments. Tell me how I'm wrong, how I'm right. I got no problem. It would be civil. I don't have a problem with being told that you think I'm wrong personally. But that's really my breakdown on that play. I really think that people, I get it, like Vrabel's whole thing is he wants to be aggressive, and that's fine. But I'd like to see more aggressive play calling, not necessarily aggressive in a point of just aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. Like, there was no need of that. Like, if you really want to be aggressive, kick the field goal and really attack them and be creative on your play calling in offense and overtime. But whatever. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and tighten up.